and action.
Hey, my name's Trish, and welcome to Not Your Average Podcast. Today we're gonna cover mom guilt. I think it plagues almost all women at some point or another. So my name's Trish.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Deb.
And welcome to the podcast. So, or video, or YouTube, or
Wherever we need.
Yeah, whatever
Still learning.
this is.
Still learning how this all works. But it's fun.
All right, Nicole, why don't you go ahead and lead us off?
Oh my goodness. I think for me, my mom guilt stems from addiction and coming out of active addiction. And also, like, I know, because I thought of this topic because of what Haley posted. And, you know, it really touched my heart. Because I think that I've messed up so bad, like they're going to be damaged forever.
Yes.
And I overcompensate with my kids. Anytime they want something or need something, especially my youngest two, I'm like, whatever you want. You know, I just bought her a $1,200 Apple laptop. You know, she needs it for school. But, you know, it's like I want to give to make up for all that lost time, not raising her the way I should have raised her. But at the same time, I look back and I'm like, I wasn't given the tools to be a great mom. I don't know how to model that, or a normal mom, or, you know, emotional stability or love and affection. And so I carry that deep into today with my kids. And with JC, I feel like I don't have as much mom guilt because she, you know, I got clean before, you know, she was 3. So I didn't drag her through the mud like I did my youngest 2. But I still have that, I'm in a new relationship. Am I giving her enough attention? You know, or when I scream at her or yell at her, I'm like, God, I shouldn't have done that. I need to be better. But I'm still learning how to be a grown up. You know, if that makes sense. I don't know if other people struggle with that, but I feel like I don't have the tools. And I've been learning over the last 11 years how to be a grown up, how to be a mom, how to talk to my kids and not do old behaviors. And then I feel like, oh, shit, I shouldn't act like that. I need to talk to them. Like one day I called her a spoiled brat. I was like, you're being a spoiled brat. I took her shopping, you know, she wanted a $70 pair of jeans. One pair. You know, and
You're like, that is 7 pair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, you're being a spoiled brat. And then that hurt her feelings. And I probably should have, there's better words. Because, you know, you see that all the time. Like, that's just what we were called growing up. So you just model that same behavior that you were taught. And I was like, so I had to go back. That mom guilt kicked in. I'm like, oh, you know better. Don't say those things. And I was like, look, JC, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I should have said it a different way, you know. But being able to apologize to my kids and show them, like, hey, you know, when you do something that makes somebody else feel bad, you go back and you make amends and you say you're sorry and let's work on it. You know, I could have said, you know, that's a lot of money for one pair of jeans, you know, that you're going to grow out of. You're still growing. You know, she doesn't see it my way, which I understand. She's a child. But so those are kind of the things that I go through and been through. But we'll switch over and then come back around again.
I think that mine's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I feel like my oldest, oh God, he really got the short end of the stick in so many ways.
Yeah.
Which is wild. I mean, he gave me a run for my money in turn. Okay, he pulled some good ones, but we're really close. Like I can say that he's not just he's my friend, and so I told him that, you know, Mom's doing this and you came up a little bit. And I'm proud of the man that you are. And he was like, oh, that's cool, Mom. But there's a lot of times, especially you be scrolling through TikTok and you see something, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I sent it to him, and he's like, I've got the best mom in the world. And like, I forgave you, Mom. Like, please just forgive yourself. And that's where I'm doing right now, but then those things come up.
Yeah. And
it's easier for me to like, oh, well, you're not worthy or you're not good. I can push that to the side. Do you know what I mean? But when it comes to my mom okay, when it comes to the things I know are true, because I struggled in so many areas. I was in a codependent relationship. We were in and out of addiction. I didn't have the tools. I didn't have a example how to parent. And you're just, I mean, literally, okay, that first kid, it's a little bit of a practice run. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit.
Especially being young.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Asa is 3 years older than I was when I had him. You know, and I just think I could have done it so differently. I should have handled some things. I I could have been a better person. I was not a good person. I wasn't a great person. I had a kind heart. That's never changed. I always had a loud mouth. You know what I mean? I am funny. Okay, I'm funny. I'm pretty hilarious. But it was just the mistakes that I made. I feel like he paid the price for. So I think, but I can tell you this. You can be clean, sober, healthy, loving life, and it's still going to come at you. Because you're going to mess up because you're a people.
Yeah.
And it's my first rodeo, too. You know what I mean? Never been here before. Never done this. So even with the boys, my youngest two are completely different. One's introverted, autistic, like structured. The other one goes wide open. He's just everywhere all the time. Peopling as much people as he can people. And, you know, like I'm missing a ball game.
Yeah.
So then there's going to be guilt for that. Josiah's, I might not, I'm not at home with him right now. There's guilt for that. Like there's always going to be guilt for that. I think that you just show up as the best version of you. I think it's super important to hear my kids out. Like they're getting older. We just had a conversation recently where I was like, hey, what do you need from me? Like I've never parented you at this age before. What are some areas that I need to do better in? Yeah. Like, what are some things that you wish you could come to me about? Like, let's just put it out there because I can't meet expectations that I don't know you have.
That's a good one.
And so, you know, I'm trying to grow and I want to support you the way you needed support, not the way that I think you need support, you know? And so, allow me to make amends for the times I fell short. You know, I want to hear you. And because that's what relationship is. Yeah. Relationship is, hey, I'm sorry, like you said, making amends, doing the hard work, and coming to a compromise. But, yeah, I don't think it
ever goes away.
Yeah. I think you learn
to live with it.
Yeah. And you forgive yourself for it. Like, I forgive myself for it. Like, there was time, because if I didn't, I would be trying to get high and run away from it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's a thing. It follows you, honey. Yeah. And it's not like, it's odd because it's not like shame, like a behavior I had. It is because I directly affected the life of somebody. Yeah. Who I put here. So, like, it's a whole, it's a different kind of ball game. But just, you know, forgive yourself. Show up authentically and do the best you can with what you got. So that's, and it's gonna come still though. Yeah. So you're still gonna do it. But go ahead, Deb.
Well, all my kids are out of the house now, except Oren. You know, so me and Kevin actually talked about parenting. You know, because he does it too. Parents out of guilt. So we try to accommodate him for what we didn't give our other kids.
Okay. Yeah. This one on this side right here is clean. I can rewrap it like this, and we.
But it's true. I feel like you'll always have that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though I feel like
you know, it's like, I'm a crier, but I hold it together a little bit more.
Okay, I'm not.
I'm the tough girl.
I'm not.
I know.
Okay, Kevin.
Let it out. Okay, Kevin. I know. Me and Kevin are similar. I cry in private. It's bad. I'm working on it.
But I'm grateful though because I probably grandma guilt now. You know what I mean? And that because I want to be spending of time, you know, because you know I got 18.
I was about to say, but I don't know how you're supposed to be at 18 places at one time.
So
I mean,
you know,
let's break that down. 18 girls for their listeners. It's not, you know, you have your 4 girls.
Yes, we have 8 kids together.
8 kids
Me
together.
and Kevin have 8 kids together. 8 and 18 grandkids.
Because they've all had kids.
Yeah. So I have 11 grandkids just from my 4 girls. You know, they're doing the most. And then
they took that whole like reproduce thing seriously.
Yeah,
multiply.
So, the other 7 are from his other 3. Yeah. And then we have Oren, which hopefully he won't have none for a while. Yeah. But I think Oren's at that age now. Like me and him are literally butting heads.
Oh yeah.
He's in that teenage. So literally bucking, and I'm like, it hurts my feelings. And I'm like, who are you talking to? He told me last night. I told him to unplug his game to plug up the Xbox, or unplug his 3D printer so he could plug in the Xbox for the babies, for the Malachi. And he said, you come in here and unplug it.
Oh, I said, do what now?
No, I said
okay.
I said, come to the door. What did you say? I said, you come and unplug it. Wow. I said, unplug everything you got in that room.
Yeah.
But then, and then you get onto him, and then you take everything for 2 weeks, and then I probably give it back to him a while ago before I come to church.
You probably did. You did.
Yeah, and
I probably did. I did.
Yeah, and so that's a good thing because I was like, I'm taking this stuff for 2 weeks. You're not gonna talk to me like that, you know. Because Kevin got on, and I was proud of Kevin because he's like, you know, you can't talk to your mom like that. You
Right,
can't,
right,
you
right.
know, and then he bucked on Kevin. And Kevin's like, okay. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
So, and then he
don't want to do it. He don't know it yet. He's
Yeah.
going to learn, though. He
But
don't
I'm
want to do
proud
that.
of Kevin.
Yeah.
He's probably better at communicating with him than I am because I get my feelings hurt.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And I
yes,
just give him
yes.
back what he wants instead of really communicating with him. So Kevin literally sat him down this morning like, hey, you can't talk to us like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be stern with you. I don't want to do these things, but you know, you're at the age, like you have the mind. You know, you have to. You can't be disrespectful. And so, but I do feel bad because then I'm like, well, is he like that? Because how we, you know what I mean? How he had a rough life, and I'm like, no, I can't allow him to be like that because you know use that for an excuse. So it's hard. It's hard to find that balance and that what I should do and what I should say and what I shouldn't do and say. But I'm proud of my relationship. My oldest.
I am
girls.
proud.
I'm
I am
like,
so proud.
I love
Yes,
the way they talk
yes,
about you.
yes.
I mean, it
melts my heart.
Yeah, it melts my heart too. And
The best, Gigi.
and so you know, we got Kevin's daughter. I was just telling y'all we picked her up off the side of the road Thursday night, and you know,
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
And you know, when they're ready, well, I don't care to, you know, I mean, we're gonna wouldn't be here. And so my girls have literally rallied around her.
Yes.
Like
yes.
she probably been around us 5 times. Me and Kevin's been together 9 years. I
So
mean, we talked to her. You know, but
Yeah.
she's on the street jumping from here to there. So when we got her, she didn't have nothing, no phone, no clothes, none of that, which I was glad she didn't have a phone.
Yeah.
And so my girls have literally rallied around her. And so I messaged Kaylin not for last time, like, thank you for helping us, because she's like ordered her some clothes and paid for her ultrasound today, you know. And she was like, well, I was just talking with my husband, with David, at supper, and I was like, you know, if we hadn't had Nana Papa and the support we had, me or any of my sisters could be in her shoes. So you know, we want to, you know, and so that makes me so proud. You know what I mean? And that eases a little bit of that guilt of, well, my mom and dad did a great job with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have finally let that part go. Like, you know what I mean? They raised, there's nothing I can do about it now.
Right,
there's
right,
nothing,
right.
You know, I can just try to be the best that I can be and not feel guilty, you know, for the things, but it comes back around.
Well, you don't make good decisions when you're feeling bad and guilty.
No.
Like nobody's making great decisions feeling guilty. Whether you overindulge or overreact. Like there's just, that's not a good place to make decisions from.
Yeah, I took JC. That's funny because I have JC's in therapy, you know. One's got
We all are.
you know, everyone's in therapy.
Therapy.
And the therapist was talking, and I had texted JC, and I'm like, I try to do that too. How are you feeling? How do you feel about me and CJ? How do you feel about the stepkids? How do you are you okay in general? Like, you know, what's your feelings? I need to know, because I'll start feeling guilty because we do have a new family dynamic. You know, it's completely different, and having a blended family doesn't always blend so well, which is fine. You know, JC's real alternative, and his kids are into sports, and that's okay. It's like we don't force them to
interact.
You know, you don't force that upon them. They're just different, and that's okay. But then I feel guilt, like, am I giving her enough attention? Am I, you know, because all his kids are in sports, and that's, you know, we go to that, but then, you know, she doesn't want to go, and then I'm leaving her at home.
Yes.
And, you know, I already have all this guilt with my first 2 kids, and you know, it's like, I was like, I feel like, because we'll have a family session, you know, and
I love that.
we'd have a family session, and you know, I feel like I'm in the middle, because I don't want to hurt his feelings, you know, and I don't want to hurt JC's feelings, because that's my child. Yeah. And so it's, even though I have a guilt for my oldest 2, I'm still having to. It's just like, it's not. I've not done anything to JC like to drag her through things, but it's just a natural instinct for a mom to have kind of guilt. You're always worrying about your kids, or you know, their mental health. Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And so we were navigating that, and JC, you know, opened up, and she's crying, and I'm just like, you know, because she feels like I have this new family, and I'm like, you know, and I don't, you are my child. I love you. You know, what do you need from me?
Yes.
If you don't, and the therapist said that, what's your you know, your mom can't meet your expectations if you don't open up. You know, sometimes, you know, they can project to, you're feeling this way, it doesn't make it true.
Right.
You know, because that's my child I love you with, you know, but if you don't communicate with me, so it's a good experience for us to go through, to let me know, hey, well, she's like, I need more time with you. Well, then tell me that, because when I ask you if you want to go somewhere and you say no,
then I think you don't.
I don't think you're fine. You're on your phone, you know, so and I'm glad that we're able to give her those tools because poor my oldest two. Yeah, we didn't. We didn't go to therapy and all that. You know, we were just winging it. And Haley, bless her heart, but she's she knows that she those things that she needs to work on, and the fact that like my son, he's got mental health issues, and I worry. He suffers with depression. Like he was the silent depressed. I didn't even know he was on depression medicine until he was 18, moved out of the house. And, he's moved to Washington all the way across country. And, I always like, how you doing? How you feeling? Yeah. And he was like, I'm really depressed. I know, let's talk about it.
Okay.
And the silent depressed kids are the ones that scare you the most.
Yes.
Because I worry, he's always like, I don't feel like life's fulfilling. And then I look at CJ and I'm like, I feel like it's my fault. I fucked him up. Yeah. I didn't give him a good life or tools or, and I don't know how to give that to him now. He does, he's insured, so I was like, go to therapy. Yeah. I don't know when it'll work or how it'll work, but, I have people to let me know is, you gotta let it go. Yeah. It's his life now. Yeah. But I carry, because I'm dragging him through the mud. Yeah. He was my first. That first one's the hardest, especially I was, 17 when I had him. I didn't have... my mom was a drug dealer, it wasn't a good environment, and I couldn't bring myself to have an abortion. I'm not, for me, I'm not, either way, I feel it's your choice and whatever you want to do, but for me, I just couldn't. So I couldn't give him up for adoption. I couldn't be that selfless, that's my baby. I know there's options, but as moms, some of us just can't do what's best for the child or whatever. Yeah. And so... I still that creeps back in. Anytime something's wrong with them, it's my fault. You know what I mean? It's my fault. I do. Yeah. And it's like if they're having any kind of mental health issues.
What did I do? Where did I go wrong? Yes.
So that's my rant.
That's so. Bless him. That oldest one, he gave me a run for my money from about 17 to 22. Oh, yeah. No, 15 to 22. Them was a long 7 years. Yeah. I would be at school taking finals because I go to college every so often because I collect associate degrees. It's something I do. I'm in the middle of finals and getting a phone call. He stole a golf cart, ran away from a boys' home. What? You've done what? Sir, get back. We're paying good money for you to be there. I need you to go back. You know what I mean? We're not trying to commit a felony. But his tools, the way he communicates, there was never not a time where I was like, Lord, please just help me, help him. He can't. It's all my fault, Lord. Yeah. Like literally, it's all my fault, Jesus. Okay, like I need you to cut him some slack on account of it's me. Yeah, And he was going through a rough patch, and where was he at this time? He was at a rehab this time, and I had prayed and prayed and prayed, and the Lord was like, you just need to let it go. I mean, because you either. I know. You either trust me or you don't, Trish. Like you trust me to save you, but you're not trusting me with your kid. You know what I mean? Like what? How much trust you really? What are we doing? Yeah. You know? And I say, oh, I'm free in the Lord. Just kidding. I'm really burdened with all these. Yeah. And so I've been praying. Like I said, been praying. The Lord's like, you need to let it go. And I was like, you know what? I'm laying it down. Yeah. I know you love him, so I'm gonna let it go. But then I was still checking my phone. Oh my gosh, he's ran away from the rehab. He is crossing state lines. And like I was internally and emotionally upset, anxiety ridden. Like I could have thrown up. Things weren't working right. Like it was a codependent, but just different. It's the same. It's the same little spirit likes to get on me sometimes. And so I said, okay, we were at where did we go? Greater Works. Greater Works. And I got my hands up. Oh, I'm free. Jesus, I'm free. And I said, Lord, I just gave this child to you. I don't know why. And he was like, but you didn't give me your reactions. You didn't give me your responses. So I had surrendered this, but I'm still having an emotional reaction to what I think should happen next. You know what I mean? So now did I really surrender it? I surrendered the outcome to you, but not the middle part. You know, I could surrender the child to you, but not my responses and not my reactions and not being tossed. Look, no, that's boom. And then after that day, I was pretty okay. It did not matter. He can go to jail. Didn't matter. Yeah. God's got you. You're going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how long it's going to take you to get it, honey. Yeah. But the Lord has promised me good for you. And I don't know when, I don't know how, and I don't know why, but I do know God. And so and after that, I was so free about his decision making. He's going to be okay. The Lord's promised me good. He's going to be okay. The Lord's promised me good. And that reminded me of, so I was not living my best life when my dad went to go be with the Lord. And I was raised by parents who were in active addiction. And my dad had got himself together. He was real bad sick. He had something called aplastic anemia, and he got it from late term effects from chemo and radiation. And he was like my crutch, my dad was. And I'd go see him, and he just went on this rant for about 3 months before he died about getting to heaven. Well, Trish, if I get to live with you and have another day, I'm a winner. If I die tomorrow and I get to be with my Lord, I'm a winner either way. I'm a winner either way. So much so that on the back of his tombstone, it says, I'm a winner. You know what I mean? And so, I was not in a good place, Warren, and my marriage was not in a good place. And my dad would say, Trish, just think about when we get to see the Lord and we get to lay our crowns at his feet. And I'd be like, I'm going to have to apologize. You know what you did? Jesus, this looks like a second grade craft project gone bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's tinfoil, Jesus. I need you to know right now. It ain't even silver. You know what I mean? Like, you're just going to have to do what you can with it.
I need you to be dazzled.
Yeah. I've got these are not real rhinestones. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, kind of, but you can have it. You can have it all. Or, and he would say, Trish, you're going to be fine. The Lord has promised me good for you. And I would say, I don't know who you've been talking to. It's not Jesus. Jesus ain't finna lie to you, Daddy. And I went through a rough patch after he died. And I was at church one day, and I'd prayed for the Lord to heal him. And the Lord said, no. I'll never forget it. He said, no. He said, he's tired. He wants to come home. And I looked at Warren, and I said, my daddy's going to die soon. And then 6 days later, I get a phone call, and my daddy's passed. And I couldn't see it then, and this is going to sound so absurd because I don't think that God does to, steal, kill, or destroy, but God even worked that out for my good in such a way that I couldn't hear the Lord telling me, hey, I've got him. He's promised good. I've promised good for him, just like I had promised your daddy good for you. You know what I mean? And if he's going to do it for me, he's going to do it for Asa. If he's going to do it for Asa, he's going to do it for Kason. If he's going to do it for Kason, he's going to do it for Josiah. Like your dad said earlier today, I've never seen the righteous forsaken or their seed begging for bread. And so there's, once you have experience, there's like something to hold on to a little bit because you've lived a little bit of life. But these kids nowadays too, all the social media, you have so much information, so many opinions coming at you and toward you about how you're not enough. You're not skinny enough. You're not tall enough. You're not dark enough. You're not light enough. You're just not enough. I have yet to see an overwhelming message that says you're okay. So I feel like psychologically, mentally, and emotionally that our kids are in a lot more difficult place than we were. I mean, physically, my children are better off. Emotionally, I'm giving them tools that I didn't have.
But our generation also is, we were raised by parents that, even if she was too, the same as suck it up. Nobody has a bad life. Mental health. We don't do mental health. We're not going to talk. We're not going to talk about it.
It's not that bad.
Right. Sorry to interrupt.
No, but I think that's part of letting go or dealing with some of that mom guilt is creating a safe place for and validating their experiences, because you might have felt like you were the best mom ever, and I'm not from a place where if I did something wrong, I think it makes me less worthy. That's one of the benefits I have. I know a lot of people that if you say, hey, you hurt my, well, you know what you did to me? We're not talking about that. You know what I mean? You should have talked about that then. We're talking about this now. You know what I mean? We'll cover that. We'll circle back.
They're not there yet, but
But, okay, my bad. Sorry. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you have the right to feel how you feel. I only have my perspective.
Well, a lot of parents don't think kids have the right to feel that. They're the parent, and what do you mean? I think we talked on this a little bit before, and like, they do, they want, just like I did as a child. She said, think back when you were a child, what did you need? Yes. And when my feelings got hurt, I should be able to say, hey, when you made comments about my size, because I used to always struggle with my weight, that hurts me. It makes me feel a certain way, but I didn't have a voice. Right. So giving our children that voice today is important. If I say something, I shouldn't get defensive and just be like, well, that's just the way it is. That's the old me. I would. But we try to evolve and how do I manage my mom guilt? That's the we know we have it. So what's the solution? Because I'm always going to have it, but how do I get out of it when I'm feeling it? You know, am I validating my children? And am I
Yes,
working on the behavior
yes,
that hurts
yes,
their feelings? When I
yes.
scream at them, you know,
Am I quick to make amends?
yes,
Yeah.
I'm not saying I shouldn't speak that way, but also in turn, we're building a better generation for them to
Yes.
pass that on as well. So that's just my
I think it's a constant work through thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to get, it's going to come at you all the time for lots of different reasons. But to know, hey, okay, Lord, first of all, that I'm not going to carry things that don't belong to me.
Mm.
And secondly, okay, I'm going to do the best I can with what I have. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and you know what? Even doing that, I'm still liable to hurt you. I'm
Mhm.
still liable to miss the mark. I'm
Yeah.
still liable to not get it right. And then just make room for that, you
Mhm.
know, because I think there's some things you carry with you. That's just, I mean, it is what it is. And then there's some things you let go. And then there's some things you're just super intentional about
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
And to know which category does it go in? You know, is this a now feeling? Is this a then feeling? Is this something I can work on? So,
I love that when you say that.
well, is
Is
this
it
a
a
now
now
feeling?
feeling?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because it is good. We need to identify, is this from my past mistakes or is this a current mistake?
Yes.
Or even when we get, you know, our kids can trigger us, you know, like
Yes,
bring up
yes,
stuff.
yes,
Or they'll
yes.
say
Yes, they do.
something like
yeah.
Haley loves to bring up all the stories of parenting and, you know, and you're just like, okay, are we letting this go? Or just, and I have to be like, just let her, you know, let her talk it out.
she
You
gets
remember
to
that
feel
one
the way she-
time you
Yeah.
left us? And
Yeah.
you know, it's
Remember that
funny
time you ran over my foot?
and you're just like, okay, let them. Because I did. I told CJ, I was like, I do that with my mom. Remember that one time you let that man beat me?
Yeah.
Did I dream that or did that really happen?
Yeah.
Okay, that really happened.
I'm
you know, and then
pretty
like,
sure it was real.
and then you're like, and then it made me realize too, even for my mom,
Mm-hmm.
you know, okay, I'll talk about something really. Today is 16 years that my older brother died.
Okay.
You know, yeah, that's a hard one. For me.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're safe.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're on the
Yeah, I'm glad
internet
to
too, but
hear
you're
on
still
the
safe.
16th.
Yes. I
Yeah.
can't think of a better place to be.
I know my mom carries a lot of
Oh,
guilt,
I can't imagine.
you know,
honey.
because
Yeah.
we weren't raised the best. And I don't think I'm the best daughter I can be because I still have a lot. Sometimes those
Resentment.
Yeah.
resentments come up,
Mhm.
and I can get mad, especially like now. I haven't talked to her today because I'm like those feelings of if you'd have just raised us better, maybe he'd still be here.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know, or
yeah,
if you wouldn't have
yeah.
gave him up, or if
Yeah.
you'd have done this, or if you'd have done that. And I know what it's like to have that from my own children.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, used to I would just lay into her. But going through my own experiences, it's like, would I want my kids to do that to me? And that I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it's like, is it true forgiveness if I bring it up, or if I say mean, hurtful things, but it's like we still carry so much
Mhm.
deep in our chest. You know, I carry so much of. I know my mom has guilt, and I used to be really bad about taking it out on her. You know, and I've gotten to a place where I have some acceptance, but today's like today.
Oh, it's like a slap in the face.
It
Yeah.
surfaces.
Yeah.
You know, and I would never tell her that today.
Yeah.
She don't watch this thing. But it's not to be mean. It's just those thoughts that come to my head is, you know, had we had a better childhood or a fighting chance, or if you taught us, we weren't taught any skills.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like we
yeah.
were raised, we went to Kentucky, yes, and it's a different world up there. It's a
Yeah,
different
yeah, that's
kind
where
of
I'm from.
raising.
Yes,
Different kind
yes.
of raising. And George, I love my brother, but his dad was a mean drunk.
Yeah.
You know, and he used to beat us when he got drunk.
Yeah.
Not spankings. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that. And I can carry that still. I let it go, but then, you know, and people said some mean things about my brother online when he died. And just another criminal. He was shot by the police. Another criminal off the streets. Good
Yeah.
riddance. And you're just like, and I still remember that 16 years later.
Mm.
And I'm like, you don't know the life that he had.
Yeah. Well,
You-
stupid people say stupid
I know.
things.
I
You know?
know, yeah. But it's like you don't know where people come from. You
Yeah.
don't,
No,
know
you have no idea where they started
what we
from.
had, right? That all the stuff that we carry into adulthood, we weren't taught how to be better.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
didn't have it.
You're just surviving.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. But you know,
And barely at that. Yeah. Barely.
So I don't know. I think the generational guilt is to come. You know, I don't have to learning from experience. I don't have to take that out on her today.
Right.
You know, I can feel my feelings. Is
Yes.
that a now feeling, a then feeling?
Yeah,
You know, that's
yeah.
the past. We can't change the past.
Yeah, we can't do
Can't
anything
change,
about
Mama can't change it. she carries enough guilt. I can only imagine what it feels like to lose a child and then raise them in addiction and abusive men, and she probably will carry that to her grave.
I'm sure.
You know,
I'm
so
sure.
and I have to think of that. Just like I will carry my guilt for my children. I'll carry it to my grave.
Yeah,
I'll let it go in moments, but you'll always have that little piece in you
spot
that's broken. You know, because you knew you could have done a better job. You know,
I think the point of it, I know it's like there's no way around it.
Yeah.
You're always getting out without the mom guilt,
mm-hmm.
is to give you empathy for maybe another mother who's struggling.
Even normal moms, people that's never been.
Yeah.
I'm thinking everybody suffers.
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. So like,
my mom has mom guilt, and I'm like, it was a good moment.
Yeah.
You could just done this better. I don't think it just is addiction or bad
No,
health. It's everybody.
yes, yeah, but it gives you a little bit of empathy for the woman beside you.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I bet there's some things. I'm sure you're looking great at the ball field, and all your stuff matches.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you probably screamed at one of your kids on the way here. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay.
Yeah,
that's
we
okay.
all do it.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
we should
okay to
get
lose it.
through
We don't have to have it all together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just to be a safe place for other women.
Mm-hmm.
To say, I'm really struggling today. I don't know. I'm about to lose my mind. Okay. Let's lose it together.
Yeah.
You know, or let's not lose it too bad. You know, or probation, no felonies.
But
you know,
I think
like
society too is like we don't talk about it. No, but all of the women are the same. I don't care if you're living in this big nice house or you're everybody suffers with mom guilt. In the back, I would assume. I don't want to but it's like, you don't hear it a lot. But between friends, we'll talk about it, but I think it's an
uncomfortable emotion. People don't like to talk about uncomfortable emotions.
We should have had mom come in here and talk about it.
Yes, we should.
Go ahead. Like, where did I go wrong? Or where that was her biggest thing. Because
I was like, go get her.
Enter chat. Yeah.
The path that I went down, you know what I mean? She held that for so long. She was like, and finally Michael was like, Mom, we were all raised in the same household together.
Yeah.
We all had the same raising. Like she chose this path. Like,
we get a little bit more background on your raising.
Yeah, go ahead.
My raising?
Yeah, because you were raised. Yeah,
you were actually.
raising.
You got to head up on us. You know what I'm saying? We'd like to know what that was like.
I'm grateful. I really am, because especially hearing Kevin's stories and even y'all's story. I didn't really have that. I always felt I was safe. You know what I mean? I loved, and I felt I took care of.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have that feelings of a crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I felt it was normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You had stability.
Stability. And so, and even with my girls, like, I think because they're older now. So I want to say this: when y'all's kids get older, I feel like they're gonna come back and be like, "Okay, Mom, I see where." Because my girls come back and say that, and they don't bring up my past today. Which
I love that.
Older, 25 to 30.
Yeah.
And so they're really, what's the word?
Understanding.
Really
compassionate, forgiving.
And they have their own kids too, so they're
learning. They're like, okay, I see. And then Kelsey, went down the same path. So she's probably one of my biggest
supporters.
Which they all are. They're all biggest supporters. But she can been in my shoes.
Yeah.
So she can be like, okay, now I see why you, because they couldn't say, why would you leave your kids? They'd be knocking on the door and you're in there for 4 hours trying to hit a vein. You know what I mean? And they're not going. So then you feel guilty for all those things, but I just I can't change none of that. You know what I mean? And to hear them be proud of me today, that's huge.
That is a big
it's
thing.
Big.
Yeah.
So Oren's really the only one that I really have to parent, raise right now at the moment, and it's tough because I didn't really raise them. I didn't really raise the girls.
Yeah.
I didn't. My mom raised them.
But they never start needing raising.
No, I know, but
So
now,
it's different.
It's different.
It's almost like we're best friends.
Yeah. That's
we're best friends, and I love that, and I'm thankful for restoration.
So much so that she has 3 of them work with her.
I love that.
And y'all get along.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, they do. They have a good relationship.
And I love that we can just have our group text together, and I'm super grateful. Now, Oren, me and Kevin parent different, so I don't know. Kevin's really rough. Like he was raised different, so I want to be more gentle sometimes, and Kevin wants to be very stern and want to go get the belt. I'm gonna wear you out. You know what I mean? And so we've had to come to try to find that balance, and you know, I feel guilty how he parents sometimes. You know what I mean? And then he'll, like this morning, he went in there and woke him up. He was like, "Come on, get up. You in a better mood today? You know, I'm sorry I had to get on duty last night." And, you know, so there's dad guilt too.
Yeah.
There's definitely dad guilt, and he didn't even know about that. He didn't even think that was a thing until I started talking about it.
CJ said that too. He said, "What are y'all going?" He said, "What about dad guilt?" I said, "We're not dads." He said,
Yeah.
"Well, I didn't come on there." I said, "Well, yeah, y'all
we
can come."
should.
Yeah, go ahead. Y'all can have your own little show.
Yeah,
we'll
do
support
a
you.
dad guilt show because
Yeah.
it is both. It's both sides.
Yes.
It's not just, you know. I think
Yes.
it's just being a parent in general. Also,
Yes, parental
you know?
guilt. Yeah.
But I'm thankful they don't throw it up to my face, and Oren don't neither. He never, but he's very quiet, and so I get concerned about that too because he don't talk about his emotions. But Kevin's a lot like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Stoic. Yeah.
Yes, and then I think, well, is he acting out because of us or because Cassandra or
Yes.
you know? And I try to be.
I mean, he
giving
could be
everything.
acting out though, just because he's 15 and or
13,
14.
I know.
Hormone. He's got a mustache.
Yeah.
And
Well,
a
it's like a
beard.
grown man.
Yeah, he's
And a beard.
hormonal. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I said,
And a-
oh, what is happening?
Is this our fault?
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
said,
Yeah.
we do that.
And it could just be teenage stuff. You don't never know.
No,
You
no.
Talk about. I won't even talk about it though.
Yeah.
He don't want to talk
And
about it.
anytime
No.
they have any trouble, it's automatically our
What did
fault.
I do? What did I do? Yeah.
Yes.
How can I help you? What did I do?
Mm-hmm.
And yet Kevin's like, why are you crying? You know what I mean? Say, don't
Ah.
cry.
Yeah.
I'm like, let him have emotions.
Boys have
Let him-
emotions too.
They do. They have
yes.
feelings.
And the old generation of not
Yes.
having any emotions is we're trying to move out
I'm gonna
of
give you
that.
something
Yeah.
to cry about.
And you want
Yeah.
them to be
That
better
is
in
so
their
weird.
It is.
Are you
That-
upset? I'm gonna
It
hit
is.
you. Don't cry anymore.
But that's how he
But
was
also I'm
raised.
hitting
That's
you.
how he was
Yeah.
raised.
I was told.
Yeah.
You cry, I'm gonna give you something to cry about.
And then they hit you harder, and then they tell you quit crying while they're hitting you.
Yeah,
You're like,
I'm so confused right now.
I
What do
never
you
had
want
a
from
spanking.
me?
My dad never spanked me, but I will say this. One time my mom spanked me, and she laughs like it's hilarious because she was going to give me a whipping, and I went to the bathroom and
You
stuffed
did
my pants with toilet paper. She still spanked me, but
It's
It is. I didn't get any spankings till I was way older. Till I was like sneaking out of the house and running off all weekend.
Yeah.
And my parents were probably at their wits' end. Like, you've been gone for 2 days, Trish. People die. People get kidnapped. Like, you're a 14-year-old girl, been missing all weekend. And I was like, oh, you're overreacting. You know? But now, if my kid was gone for 2 days and I had no idea, oh my gosh. And that's what I think to myself too. Like, my kids don't have a lot of responsibility. Like, you unload the dishwasher, you load the dishwasher.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Take
I mean,
trash out.
is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not, because you're a kid. And I know that life is coming for you over here, friend. So enjoy it while you can. But they're just not doing the things I was doing at that age.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, I could already took his $5, turned it into 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we could have, but we gonna have that field trip money, honey. You know what I mean? But and I look at him, I think, and it's not because I was so much more mature. It's because I didn't get to be a child.
Right.
You know, I was from a very early age put in very grown up situations and grown up stuff, and my kids have no idea, like just completely oblivious, not have absolutely no idea how life is or how life works.
What a blessing.
For
What a
me,
blessing.
yes,
What a
yes,
blessing.
and I thought, oh, they are really getting to be 14 and 15-year-old, 14 and 15-year-olds, you know. So I think that it's we're doing an okay job.
yeah.
I don't know if we're doing a great job. I also don't know how to do a different job
No,
yet.
we're doing great.
I'm working on it every day, trying to figure it out, trying to be there emotionally. And because these last two are so different. So this oldest one, who forgives me every single time, all the time. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, lay you down. It's been better. I'm so sorry. Will you please forgive me? He's like, I already forgave you, Mom. I love you. You're the best mom ever. No, you know? And then I have these two. And they're like daylight and dark. This one likes to go, ball, outside, people, all the time. There can be at my house anywhere between 2 to 7 teenage boys at any given time. Large, loud creatures they are. And they smell bad, okay?
And they eat
And
a
they're all the time. And they just run through the house, run amok. And then this one doesn't like people. He can invite his one good best friend over and look at him and go, okay, I'm done now. And then just walk away from him. And then Logan's just sitting there. Thank God Logan could play with Kason too, because that's you invited him over, but Joseph's done.
Yeah.
And so having to parent,
out.
he's done. And he's just like, okay, I'm done. And just walks away. Which I love that. Healthy boundaries. You're done. How many times should I say, okay, I'm done, and just walk away?
Yeah.
Instead, I'm just listening to you still. But I'm not there either. My poor husband. Anyway, but condenser, capacitor, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Anyhow, but it really is a stretching in the dynamic of parenting two completely people, because you don't have a one size fits all.
Yeah, every child is different. Every child is
Yes.
different, because Caleb and Haley they can self-soothe. They were taught to self-soothe. You know, whatever. And JC is, you know, I got clean when she was 3. She's been with me nonstop, under my butt. You remember, when she was little, she had to be with me 24/7, and she was all the way up until teenage years. And I thought, oh, it's just teenage years. Some of it is, some of it ain't. You know, so and my kids were like, you can't parent her how you parented us. She's not the same. She needs more love. She needs more attention.
Yeah.
She's more emotional. You know, they were raised in an environment where I learned that skill. Okay, I got to self-soothe, whatever that looks like, because I'm not going to get the attention and love that I need from, even my oldest kids. When I got clean, I wasn't real affectionate.
Maternal.
Yeah, maternal. Like, I love my kids, but I wasn't raised with love and affection.
You're doing a great job.
Yes. And CJ's like, he's always loving on his kids.
Yes.
And his dad was like that, and I love that. You know, he loves on JC, and he helps me do that.
Yes.
Did you go in and give her a hug? Did you love on her? Did you talk to her?
Yeah.
And he helped push me, because I need that counterbalance, because when you don't have it and you're learning to reprogram your brain of, okay, this child needs love and affection, she needs words of affirmation, versus, because if it's left to me, I'm like, all right, you had a good day, I love you. You know, you're good, you're fine. You know, I'm in, you know, you stuff your feelings and let's get it going.
Yeah, we got things to do.
Yes, but that's not. You want to raise a healthy child, so you have to learn what's healthy for them.
Yes.
Because every child is different. So I was throwing my 2 cents in there.
No, I think that's and we're different.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm a completely different from my sister, my poor mama. we gave her up the road. And I can say that my sister has a lot of, she's 6 years older than me, and she pretty much raised me. So she has a harder time with my mama than I do. Like, I forgive mom. Mom is who she is. Has she ever been maternal? No. Brenda's a good person. I love her. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, got a diamond ring on every finger, and got $100 nails, and probably not a loaf of bread in the house. You know what I mean? Outside with her Virginia Slim Lights, living her best life, drinking her Mountain Dew. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, big long
the long
thing.
ones.
Oh yeah. Talking to her sisters on the telephone. You know what I mean? In her Kentucky Wildcats robe. You know. But I'm just, and Shannon's still struggling. I'm like, Shannon, you need to make peace with mom, okay? Because, hear me out, my mom was raised in a time where she spent every Thanksgiving dinner with the man who molested her. That's just because in Appalachia, it's a wild thing that happens. I think it's probably everywhere, but you just don't talk about it.
No.
You don't talk about it. And instead of Uncle Donald don't come to the dinner, it's, we just don't leave them kids alone with Uncle Donald. You know what I mean? No, Uncle Donald's in there. You come on over here and play. You know what I mean?
Wear long shorts. Wear cover up. Make sure you cover up now. And
instead of Uncle Donald is a freak. You know what I mean? Like, why is Uncle Donald here?
Yeah.
You know, like, that's weird.
Yeah.
So, mom